Good morning everyone. Today we're going to talk about fake driver's licenses. It used to be very easy. You got your license, you took your flashlight from your cell phone, and if it showed through as purple or violet, it was real. But if it showed through as yellow or white, it was fake. The problem is there are some fake driver's licenses which actually manage to pass the test. This is a fake license, but it's showing through as purple or violet. Now another test that you would commonly do is UV. There should be an eagle on the front. Let's turn on our light, and there you go. You see the eagle there? And if we check one of the fake licenses, there's no eagle. So we know that this is definitely fake. The problem is the fake license that passed the flashlight test will also pass the UV test. You can see the eagle there, right? Now there's actually a bunch of other things that we can check with these cards, but I'll move the camera closer so you can actually see them much easier. Now another thing that you would look at is this hologram here. You can see it's a rainbow color, and if we zoom in, you can see it's a very detailed hologram with very fine lines. If you compare this fake, they basically just printed the hologram onto the base. There's no real hologram here, and there's no rainbow color. So straight away that's a big giveaway. But on this one that passed the other checks, you can see they have the hologram, and it's also very detailed, just like the real one. Now something you may have seen enforcers do is scratch at the expiry date, the conditions, and the restrictions. The reason why they do that is this is actually embossed using a laser, so you can feel it with your fingernail when you run your finger over there. You can actually see how clean each character is raised off the license. See that? And it's the same on the back if you check the conditions. Each character has been embossed directly onto the polycarbonate card, so it's very clean, and you can see that it's raised, so that when you take your fingernail and go like this, you'll feel between each letter. Now if we compare that with this fake license, when I scratch my finger over there, you might be able to hear it is catching my fingernail, and the same on the back. Did they really buy a laser that can engrave this? No, look at this. If I put some extra light on the license and then rotate it, can you see that? Let me zoom in. Someone has etched into this using a sharp object. So they've tried to manually etch the numbers. See this? It's more like a scribble. Definitely not done by a laser. Now this one is very interesting, because when you rub your finger over it, it actually feels like they've lasered into the card. So they've done what I believe is a negative embossing rather than a positive. So instead of the characters being high, they're actually dug into the card. And if we take out the macro, you can see that it looks nothing like the real license. And instead of being raised, they've actually dug into the card. But it is relatively clean, so I'm not sure if they used a stamp set or if they may have actually used a cheap laser. Now another thing we can check is this silver strip on the back, the security strip. When we rub our finger over this, there should be no difference. It should be completely flush. We shouldn't feel anything on the back or on the front. Now if we take a look at one of our fake cards on the back, as soon as I rub my finger over here, I can actually feel that it's depressed. I can feel the difference where they've installed this into the card. There's like a depression or an indentation. And if we turn the card over and shine it in the light, you can actually see the line. See this? So you have a bump on the front and you have an indentation on the back. So straight away that's a big red flag. That should be completely flush. So again, back to our other fake, if we check this, it is actually completely flush. There's no indentation, there's no bump. And if we look at the front, no matter how we move it in the light, it doesn't show the strip, so they've managed to make that look quite convincing. You may notice some minor damage on these cards, like this for example. Most of the damage on these cards was caused by enforcers when they're verifying if it's real or fake. When they hand it over, it looks perfect. It looks absolutely perfect. That's why they're so difficult to detect. Now another test that we can do is to find an area of the card that doesn't have any damage, and then we take our fingernail and we try and scratch into it. You only use your fingernail, don't use a knife or anything like that. Then wipe it away, and if you move it in the light, there shouldn't be any kind of indentation. See, it should be there, but there's nothing there because this is a real polycarbonate driver's license. If we take this fake one, let's zoom in over here. So let me try use my fingernail. Then wipe away. And look, you see that indentation? And if we take this fake one, let's zoom in on the corner here. Just make sure there's no damage, right? Now use my fingernail. And then, see that? Very clearly made a mark. So again, we know that this is not a genuine polycarbonate driver's license from LTO. It should not indent like that from a fingernail. Now another thing that enforcers will often do is pick at the edge or the corner, because being polycarbonate, even if you have multiple layers, they're fused together. It's absolutely impossible to delaminate them. So what enforcers would do is they'll pick at the corner, and if they manage to get it to delaminate, they'll know it's a fake. And if we take one of our fake ones, let's see if we can do that. I'll zoom in on the corner. So you see up here, let's pick away at that. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Sometimes it can be difficult, but if you pick away at it for a while, and look, you see that? It's already started to delaminate. So we know that that's a fake card, and if we take the other one, I'll just remove this sticker here because I know that this has already been tested on the corner up here. Let's zoom in, and can you see that? It's already started to delaminate. See that? So again, we know 100% that's not a real polycarbonate driver's license from LTO. One of the easiest ways to verify a license is simply to run it through the LTO portal online. All you need is the license number, the expiry date, and the receipt number. If your license is fake, it's going to say the driver's license details and official receipt number do not match. But if it's a genuine license, it's going to ask you to enroll your account, and it's going to show you personal details. So that's really the surefire way to know if a license is genuine. So that's just a few ways you can tell fake licenses from a real license. It's very worrying how many people comment every day saying, how can I check if my license is real? If you went to LTO, if you did everything the right way, it will be real, it will be genuine. If you used a fixer, if you use Facebook LTO assistance, most likely it will be fake. It might be a good fake, but it's still going to be fake. Now there are some other ways to detect fake licenses, which I didn't talk about in this video. I will save that for enforcers so that they're a step ahead. But for sure, it's becoming more difficult to detect a fake license. Every single day, MMDA are catching so many people with fake licenses. They buy it online, typically for around 3,000 pesos. And as you saw, it passes the flashlight, it passes the UV, passes the hologram. They're pretty good fake licenses. They're becoming harder to detect. My recommendation is just go through the right process, because if you get caught with a fake license, you're going to be in a lot more trouble. I'll have another video coming on Monday which talks about the consequences of using a fake license if you're caught by a law enforcer. Thanks for watching.